So if we look at chakras, and we can see that there are some areas where the chakras are smaller, that you have brought up that point. And then after having drunk the water, we can see that predominantly the navigational pathway has been to correlate and also increase the size of the information contained inside the chakras. And that's what we see over here, because there's definitely a growth in the size. You see that, Robert? There's definitely a significant growth in the size, because we look at these, they are tiny.
Yeah.
They are small. So now we come to this chart over here, and this chart will show us precisely what systems. This was the baseline. The green mean stable energy, pink is hypofunction of energy. So we can see by precise values exactly what and where the systems have been fortified. And now we observe by the influence of the water, there are much more areas that have been
reduced,
that have been raised towards the stable functions. So this is again one of the charts that really give us a lot of extracted detail, both. And then we can look at how this information was with the filter. So with the filter, after having drunk the water, almost the whole system is in green, and here also the whole system is in green. But we know by its subtle values here. Here it was minus 0.04, plus 0.09, now to plus 0.08 and plus 0.20. So that area, and harmonizing these two numbers, 0.18 and 0.2, showing that much more even distribution of the system. Now let's go to the energy field. So when we look at the energy field over here, we see that there is a strong burst happening at the top, which is the right side of the brain.
That's before?
That was before. So what we are looking at is, one is there is a low prana center here. The prana field itself, when I look at the whole system, at 74% for this being in this timeline, should be more even like that, but even higher, like almost 20,000. It's an observation, and when we look at such observations, so similarly, if we look at the right side, we can see that in the back of the head over here, this whole area, the cerebral area, there's some strong mental process that is being churned. That's what that is showing. There's some strong mental process, and this mental process is not well resolved because it's creating some internal dialogue that is yet seeking a fruition. So then after having drunk the water, we can see this is again some of the absolute the science in the water. I mean, this is what we are all doing in Russia and Eastern Europe and other parts of the world, is we are observing how informed water, that we call intelligent water or structured water, informed water recalibrates the human being, so that the aspects that led to healing, the word healing, that we all still use and apply, can be completely rewritten by rewriting the neural architecture or the information cascades that go across the neural architecture. And we know that this can be done spontaneously, and we are exploring water in this manner. From its area of 15,600 to almost 21,000, and that's well over the 10% range. So has it been a significant contributor to the intuitive side of the brain, the creative side, the emotional field? We can see that it has raised the collective infusion. It has strengthened many areas over here. Let's look at this side.
What do you mean by collective infusion?
Collective infusion of information. We are looking at informational cascading patterns. That's what So here we see similarly from 13,000 to 18,000, that which is also greater than 10%. So has there been a support over here collectively?
That's the left side of the body.
This is the left. So if we see with filter, and now we can see how it has supported the sympathetic field. If we look at it overall, definitely here we see thyroid area is interruption of energy flow. Similarly we see that, but there has been some contribution here from 91% symmetry to 92% symmetry. Here we look at 21,500 to 23,000. So here again we also see that there has been some support, a stronger band in the flow of energy, because this is strictly about energy flow here. And what we are looking at here is that certain areas, like we see in digestive areas, this is again related to throat thyroid area, and then we see that some cascades in the back, the coccyx, lower spine. From where it was darker, we can see that it has become lighter. So every process, I mean, has it been supportive to Robert, looking at all this information? We can say that here, now this bar chart. This is the parasympathetic field, sympathetic field before, parasympathetic field, sympathetic field after, right side of the body, front and left. So it's very clear, no? So here certainly we see that there has been a contribution to the parasympathetic system and a contribution also to the sympathetic system, because it has raised the bar of energy flow, energy distribution. So probably on one level we can see that entropy has dropped from 4.1 to 4, even though it is a very small drop, but that small drop can have a significant contribution, significant field flow in the system. I have seen over tens of thousands of studies that we have done, is that we are able to observe a deeper process of human exchange, because we are emerging from our molecular-based understanding to a much more dynamical understanding of our quantum informational field level, to what we really are and how we can redirect the course of our collective consciousness in humankind. And we know that this is imprinting across the entire planet, because we've also measured informational traveling through distances. And recently Bill Tiller shared some very deep insights. Bill Tiller is a Stanford researcher who continues to bring tremendous information to the field of science, showing that how our communication is no longer limited to a localized or a non-local field just on planet Earth, but we can communicate directly with galaxies that are billions of light years away when we engage the heart, the rhythm of the heart. The amplitude and the rhythm of the heart travels at the cubed speed of light. And this he has observed in his laboratories and has spoken about it now. So we see that we are essentially, and of course we now know, it's not some historical science that we are beings of light. It's very clear that we are beings of light. We have just taken a path that have created great anomalies in life, and hence distancing between humans to each other, and hence our molecular-based understanding has not brought us enlightenment. But we know from the principles of light, where our extensive research is taking us collectively around the world, is showing that we can align to a global coherent model.